Hello everyone, my name is Anna. I'm a retired teacher, wife, mom, and a grandma. I've put together some lessons for my grandson, and today I'm going to share the lessons and the free printables with you. Today we're going to be using several books, including Brown Bear, and the activities that I've created for you today include some flashcards, toys, and other manipulatives. I hope you enjoy them. The first activity we're going to be reading some books. I am going to be reading Brown Bear. This is a repetitive book. I love using repetitive books. They have a significant impact on early language development. As your child becomes familiar with the book, you can have him or her fill in the blanks of the repeated sentence. Repetitive books also help with certain language structures, such as pronouns or prepositions that may be repeated throughout the book. For example, when we're reading Brown Bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. And then we repeat, red bird, what do you see? I see a yellow duck looking at me. We're repeating the pronouns. I see. I really love repetitive books. I'm also going to be using Dear Zoo. This is a lift a flap book, and we'll do some activities with this book. Throughout the week, we will also read But Not the Hippopotamus, Good Night Gorilla. Throughout the week, we would learn about bears, because nonfiction books are important too. As we take a child to the zoo, we read books like this and let them know that bears are nice to look at, but they're dangerous, and how big they are and where they live, their habitat. So I would read a book like this. This one too, it's a little mouse. Do you want to be my friend? He's going around and he's looking for a friend. Brave Little Bear. This one is The Little People, Let's Go to the Zoo book. This is a real good book. It has lift the flaps. Toddlers love this type of book. So I would have this out throughout the week. And then this one, I really like this book. This one is called My Big Animal Book, but I would focus on at the zoo and talk about all the different animals that we may find at the zoo. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to read the story. As we're reading the story, we're going to have our child pick the card as I read. Brown Bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. So we find the card with a red bird and we put it on the bear. We're going to do that. We're going to read the entire book, and we're going to have our child put the cards on the bear. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to be using a printable that I put in the learning binder. If you do not have a learning binder, they're really easy to put together. I have a section in the back. It says books. So we have some of our activities for our favorite books. So I created this one for Brown Bear, Brown Bear. So what we're going to do, you can either use this one that already has the pictures, or you can use this one that I left blank. So whatever you want to do, if you want to use this one or the blank one. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to read the book. What do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. And then I see a yellow duck. So our child is going to put all the little cards all around. Another thing that you can do, you can go around the house and see if you can find some toys. And as you're reading the book, your child can be putting the toys on the handout. So I see a red bird looking at me. I see a yellow duck, a blue horse. I also have a section for vocabulary in the binder. So for this week, I'm going to be using these flashcards. These are from Dollar Tree. And we're going to review vocabulary. Giraffe, elephant, monkey, lion, and so on. We are also going to do a beginning letter sound activity. We're going to say the word giraffe. We're going to look, and then we're going to put a letter. I'm using magnetic letters. Elephant, elephant. So I've put together several activities on this tray. We're going to start with this one. I'm calling it Let's Roll and Graph. We're going to be using this printable that I created. I'll go ahead and link it below. I'm also using a die from Dollar Tree, and I put some pictures of the animals, and we're going to be using a manipulative. So whatever you have at home, you have some of these bingo chips, you have some of these little gems, little pom-poms, whatever you have at home. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll the die, and we're going to see lion. So we're going to pick up a manipulative using the little gems, and we'll put it right here. And we're going to tell our child, we're going to see which of the animals is going to win. Which of the animals is going to get all the way to number 5 first. So then we would roll it again. Monkey. Bear. And so on. This is a great way to play a game, to review numbers, counting, and just having fun. Just wants to get some of those too. activity is a tracing activity. I created this printable and I'll go ahead and link them below. Tracing is a pre-writing activity. Pre-writing is learning the skills necessary to begin writing. Pre-writing is an important step because it teaches children the proper way to hold a pencil. Pre-writing also helps children with the development of hand-eye coordination, and they learn that words go from left to right. For this next activity, this is a sorting activity. I went ahead and put together some letters and some numbers. I also put the animals that we had used in our previous lesson, but we're going to be sorting letters and numbers. This is a free printable and I'll go ahead and link it below. So what our child is going to do is look in the sensory bin and say, is this a letter? Yes, this is the letter G. So we're going to put it over here with the letters. What about this one? This is a number. That's the number 1. And we're going to do that with all of our little magnetic letters and numbers. This next activity is a number quantity activity. We're going to be using this printable that I created. You can either leave it in the binder and have your child count how many frogs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then use a marker, circle the 5, and then go to the next one. 1 fish. Or you can cut these, and I laminated them. I'm going to be using some clips and we're going to count. 1 fish, 1. 1, 2. 2 horses. 3 birds. 1, 2, 3. And so on. For this next activity, we are going to be counting bears. We're going to use this printable that I've created. I'm going to link it below. I am also going to be using some of these counting bears from Learning Resources and some magnetic numbers. But if you do not have some of the counting bears, that's okay. You can use little erasers, pom-poms, buttons, whatever you have at home. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to look at this. We have 1 bear. So we're going to get the number and we're going to put 1 bear. This one we have 1, 2. 2 bears. So we're going to get 2 bears and put them here. 1, 2. We'll do that with all of these printable. For this next activity, we are using this book. It's called Dear Zoo. It's also a Lift the Flap book. I really like this book. We're going to read it. I wrote to the zoo to send me a pet. They sent me an elephant. He was too big. I sent him back. So we're going to read the whole book. Then we're going to do an activity. So I put together some bags. These are just some of this brown paper sacks. And I'm using some stickers from the dollar store. I went ahead and put a sticker in each one of the little bags. So as we read, we're going to see they sent me an elephant. So we're going to get the bag with the E, elephant, and we're going to open it. And inside I put some toys. So here's the elephant. And then we would go on to the next one. So we would read the next page. So they sent me a giraffe. He was too tall. I sent him back. So then we would open the next bag. There's a letter G for giraffe. And there's the giraffe. So I put a bag for each one of the animals. Just a fun way to learn. This next activity is a sensorial activity. I went ahead and put together some sensory bins with things that I had here around the house. Toys. We have some of this little crinkle paper. I have some corn, black beans, and some rice that I colored. And then I went ahead and labeled, like we have giraffes here, we have elephants and rhinos, we have lions, polar bears, the aquarium. I also made a fence, and we used some clothespins and a popsicle stick, and we used that to divide. The elephants are in the front and the rhinos are in the back. Sensorial activities are great hands-on activities that stimulate all 5 senses. The children are touching, they're smelling, they're just playing with what they have. These are great. A lot of creative play. These activities promote critical thinking and problem solving, like where are the animals going to stand? Are they going to fall? You know, how do we place them? So these are great, you all. So you can just make some sensory bins with whatever you have around the house. Enjoyed the activities that I had for you today. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.